What's going on, everyone? Bobby Bax here, and welcome back to my Director of Football save here on FM24. We are picking up right where we left off at the end of the 26-27 season. We are here in June. Ruud van Nistelrooy is still our head coach. He finished 3 points behind Manchester City last season. In his defence, Manchester City have the best squad in the league, potentially in Europe or the world. They are absolutely incredible at the minute with the talent that they've got at their disposal. So I'm going to do what I can for Ruud. I'm going to try and improve on this squad again. I feel like we've been continually improving it. He's getting closer and closer. This time he was just 3 points behind. So let's see what we can do. I'll jump forward right to the end of the summer transfer window. We'll have a look at the business we've done and see if we've managed to improve on this squad. Okay, before the season ticked over onto the 27-28 season, the only player we signed was Mikey Moore from Millwall for 1.1 million, who we've loaned straight back out. That was the only in, that was the only out before the season ticked over. So I'll now just tick it over and we'll have a look at what business was done before the window closed. Well, here we are. We signed 6 players, although one of them was signed by somebody else. So Tom Mendy from Paris Saint-Germain for 1.1 million, potentially rising to 1.4, was signed by my director of football. I know I'm the director of football, but I also have a director of football. Very complicated. I didn't have for the first 3 seasons, and what I noticed is none of my youth players was signing. You know, the youth intake that you get, obviously because I'm holidaying through the seasons, nobody was signing the youth players from the youth intake. So I've appointed a director of football, which is Louis Campos, and he's now signing the youth players from the intake that you get. So that's the reason why I've done that. But for some reason, I had it set up for him to sign young players, and he's been and signed this kid from Paris Saint-Germain, who's crap, by the way. I'm selling him as soon as I get the opportunity to sell him. However, we managed to bring in some players on a free transfer. So James Ward-Prowse brought in on a free, and then we brought 2 centre-backs, world-class centre-backs, in Todibo and Ibanez, who are both really, really good. We'll have a look at those in a second. We brought in Gabriel Moscado from Corinthians. I signed him on a Tottenham save, I think, after FM24 come out. In real life, he's actually signed for Paris Saint-Germain, I think. It looks like he's going to be a very good prospect for the future. And then the main player we've signed for the squad is Michael Olise. He's coming in as a right winger, obviously. He's going to be back up to Saka. So we'll see how that gets on, because we've let Rooney Bargy go out on loan, as you can see on the right-hand side. So a couple of players left on a free. Lisandro Martinez and Fabinho both left on a free. They were players that we brought in on a free on a 1-year contract. Fabinho was, sorry. Martinez wasn't. What am I talking about? Martinez has been here since the start. Lisandro Martinez, couldn't find a buyer for him, could I? I'm trying to sell him for years and just couldn't find anyone. Anyway, he's left on a free. He's gone to Al Shabab in Qatar. Harry Amas, again, was a player that's been here a long time, come up from the youth academy at Manchester United. He's gone to Paris Saint-Germain on a free. And then we've loaned out some young players that weren't getting game time. Some of these have been loaned out in the past. So Glauc, Bargy, Warner and Doué all should be good players, but they've not really developed. And the head coaches that we've had weren't giving them game time. I would have done, if I was in charge of picking the team, I would have been playing these players and they would have developed into world stars, but because the head coach has not been picking them, they've not really developed. So I've been trying to give them game time through loans, but they've just not developed into the players I know they can be, which is frustrating. Giving them another year, see what goes on, but if they haven't developed, I'm probably going to have to move them on permanently, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. They're not going to be good enough to play in the team. Other players that have left, Martin Vitic, he was our first ever signing as director of football, but he's now gone to Preston for 1.9 million. Tyler Fletcher and Arwen are players that were here at the start. They've both gone. Gabri Vega was a player that we signed on a free last season, so we made nearly 30 million on him. He's gone to Brentford. Laporte, similar. Signed him on a free last season. He's gone 15 million. I thought with us bringing in Todibo and Ibanez, no need to keep Laporte. We moved him on. Frank Kessie. Didn't really want to lose Frank Kessie, to be honest. He was very good for us last season, but when somebody's offering up to 80 million for a player that's in his 30s, might as well let him go. Which is why we brought Moscardo in. So let Kessie go, brought Moscardo in. We'll see if that's a worthwhile deal doing. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm not sure we've improved. And we've improved the finances, which is a worry at the minute, which I'll show you. But yeah, I'm not so sure we've improved the squad, and that's the most disappointing bit. Let's have a look. So this is the current squad. Restades is obviously number one. Mamardashvili, I'm happy to move on. He's listed at the minute. I'm happy for him to move on now. He's not really getting any game time, and he's paying £94,000 a week for him. We're struggling with the finances, I mentioned earlier, and I'll show you that after I've shown you the squad. But in terms of defence, now we still have 5 centre-backs, so we probably still have one too many, albeit Delict and Scalvini can play in the DM role. Barco's not happy. He's probably going to move on at some point. Theo Hernandez has been great. And then, again, it's kind of the centre midfield area. I just don't know what to do with it. This is the area that needs the significant improvement, and I tried to do that with the free transfers last season with the likes of Ruben Neves, Gabri Vega, Frank Kessie, players like that, but it's not really worked out. We've got close to Man City, but we need proper world-class stars in that area, and the players that have gone out on loan should have been that. They should have developed into those world-class stars, and it's not happened. It's difficult for me doing it as a director of football, because what I tend to do in my saves is I'll buy the younger players and train them and play them and develop them. I'm not particularly good at going out and buying top players to bring in unless there's an opportunity there through a transfer list, or whether they're unhappy or whether they've got a release clause or whatever. I'm not the type of manager, I guess, that goes out and does that on this game. But yeah, so it's difficult to change my mentality to signing players and finding people that are available. Mason Mount is arguably as best centre midfielder. Adegula's not working out. He's due to run out of contract in 2 years. He won't re-sign. We're paying him £235,000 a week. Again, not developed into the player he should be. Kobe Mainu is getting some game time, but not enough. So he's not really developing at the pace we'd like. Similarly with Naipan, again, I've got him up for loan in case he wants to go somewhere and try and get some game time. But yeah, other than that, like I said, the striker position's fine. Hoyland and Ferguson are great. Left wing position is fine. Rashford and Garnacho. And now the right wing position in Elise and Saka. It's difficult to improve on that unless world-class stars become available. And that's now where I'm kind of changing my mindset. I'm not going to go buy a young player now. If a world-class star is available, even if it's for 100, 200, 300 million and we've got that money, I'm going to go buy them. So, finances. This is the bit I'm struggling with, because we're already 142 million in debt, and we have a projection that we're going to come back out of it in a couple of years' time. But until then, we're struggling with the money situation, and that's why I'm not able to buy a world-class star unless somebody moves on, and we could. I just don't want to deplete the squad in the other areas. Like I say, a centre-back could move on. The likes of Sattelberger could move on, but he's doing all right. So yeah, we'll have to see. Like I say, those young players that are out on loan this season, we'll give them one more year out on loan. And if they come back better, we can embed them. If we don't, we'll try and recoup money for them. So let's jump forward to January. We'll see how Rube's got on first half of the season. Okay, he is in third place. He's 5 points behind Manchester City, who do have a game in hand, so they could go 8 points clear. And Chelsea, as I've repeated numerous times, on any FM24 save, become a real force to be reckoned with. So he's joint third. Liverpool are on similar points, and then Arsenal and Tottenham are right on his heels. So it is tight up at the top. I think City are going to run away with it again, if I'm honest. And then we just have to try and realistically it doesn't matter to me whether we finish second, third or fourth, as long as we finish in the Champions League spots. But he's lost 5 games, which were all away, so home record's good. He's lost away to Tottenham, Manchester City obviously, lost away at Arsenal, which are 2 teams, like I said, Arsenal and Tottenham are on his heels. And then he's lost on the South Coast, unfortunately, Bournemouth and Southampton, who are both, top half teams in this particular save. So it is what it is. Drawn 3 games, away to Chelsea and away to Villa. He's drawn at home to Sunderland, which was disappointing given where they are in the table, fighting relegation. They're the only points he's dropped at home, which is good. Good home record there from Ruud van Nistelrooy. So this is a squad sort of by average rating. So Coyote's as best player. Mamardashvili's up there, but he's only played 6 games. Saka's doing really well. That right-hand side of Coyote and Saka is doing really well. Rashford there on the left, as usual. He's 30 now, though. Starting to get to the age where we need to think about whether he's a player we keep or let go. Højlund's done all right when he's come in, mainly come off the bench. Restes done okay. Again, that goalkeeper position, is that an area we're struggling with? Restes, as he developed into the world-class goalkeeper he should do? Not sure. Sattelberg has done okay. Ibanez has done alright in his first season. Fresneda's not really had much start. Coyote's been the preferred right back there. So Ferguson's only scored 7 in 24. Not very prolific, Mr. Ferguson. So let's have a look at the cup competitions. So in terms of the League Cup, he is through to the semi-finals where he's going to play against Newcastle. Very tough draws. Granted, he's been at home, but Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City are no easy teams to try and beat. And like I say, Man City are a fabulous team. The fact he's beat them 2-0 in the quarter-final is a wonderful result. Great work there, Ruud, getting past all 3 of those teams. Have a look at the Champions League. FA Cup's obviously not started yet. Been a bit of hit and miss again, hasn't he? He struggles in this. But, I mean, look at those fixtures. Look at it's just incredible. I mean, he's got 2 home games again against Shakhtar and Galatasaray still to play. You'd expect 6 points from those 2 games. But away to Juventus, away to Paris Saint-Germain, which I think are good results, getting draws away there, to be fair to him. Drawing away at Celtic is not the best of results, but they're a good team. They're a strong side, particularly at home in Europe. So he's gone to Copenhagen and won 5-2, which is fine. Beaten Atletico Madrid at home 3-0, but losing at home to Inter Milan is just... I know they're a good side. And Hernandez was sent off, to be fair. So played most of the game with 10 men, held out to the 84th minute. We'll let him off with that one, I guess. So what I'll do now is jump to the end of the January transfer window. We'll have a look if we've had any opportunities to sign or sell any players. And the answer to your question is no. We didn't sign or sell anybody, which is a first, I think, for me in any save. We've not had an opportunity to sign or sell anyone. We didn't do any business at all in January. So no change. We'll jump forward to the end of the season, see how we got on in the second half. I am just jumping back in here on the 1st of April, and I've hidden what position we are in the league for those of you that were trying to have a look. But last year's FA Cup winners, Manchester United, are soon to be the subject of a takeover bid amid rumours that current owner Avram Glazer is looking to leave the club. The coach's voice is reporting that a mystery foreign tycoon is looking to complete a buyout of the club and invest large sums of money in new players and facilities. It does say down here, owner status in the process of a board takeover. Are we going to get a mystery foreign tycoon as our new chairman and flash the cash? Well, the answer to the question is yes and no, because we did get taken over, albeit not from a foreign tycoon. It was an English business tycoon, Nick Lewis, who has bought the club. Our finances have gone from okay to rich. The guy now loves the club, and Man U FC count the money. Although the two sides are no nearer to finalising the takeover, Football Radar is reporting that fans of Man United are keeping their fingers crossed that a deal will soon be reached. Things will never be the same again at Old Trafford after English investor Nick Lewis successfully completed the takeover of the Premier League club. According to the Daily Star, Lewis has promised that he will stop at nothing to ensure Manchester United become one of the greatest forces in domestic and continental football, and they have been delisted from the stock exchange with immediate effect. I have a personal message. Some £0 has been pumped into the club's coffers and a new transfer budget has been calculated. I'm going to Scooby-Doo why that says zero, because I'm going to show you how much he pumped into the club in a minute. But he wants to thank me for my patience and obviously understands it's been a stressful time. Transfer embargo has been removed. Obviously, we've not been in the transfer window, so nothing to worry about there. But in terms of the finances, what has that done? Jesus Christ. We have over £1 billion in the bank. We have a transfer budget of over 200 million. The guy's just come in and gone, there you go. And I'm not sure whether financial fair play is a massive thing in this game. I don't think it is. Not to the extent of real life. I think I can just go and blow that money and not worry about anything. Which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I've played Football Manager every version, since its inception of Championship Manager in Act 2, Act 3 or whatever it was. It's very, very rare you get a tycoon takeover. And I think this is the first time in a very, very long time I've had one. I bet I could count on one hand. And bear in mind I've been playing the game for 30 years. I think I could count on one hand how many times I've had a tycoon takeover. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything else, could I? We were struggling with the finances. I want to try and go and attract world-class players. I need the money to do that. Some guys just come in and bought the club and said, essentially, there's £1 billion, fella. Off your trot. I know he's only put 200 quid in the transfer budget at the minute, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with this. Very much looking forward to it. It's taken the save in a whole new direction. The question I need to ask myself, though, is Ruud van Nistelrooy the right man to lead the team? Because he's finished 17 points behind Manchester City, considering he only finished 3 points behind them last season. He's lost 10 league games. We've been fortunate to have a better goal difference than Liverpool to finish fourth, albeit Liverpool also qualified for the Champions League. But I don't know. I don't know. Did he win anything? Obviously, every time he's been in charge for a full season, he's won a trophy for us. Did he win a trophy this season? Well, he didn't win the EFL Cup, the League Cup. He got spanked by Newcastle in the second leg. 4-0. Unbelievable. I mean, look at the team we've had out. How have we lost 4-0? Come on, Ruud. So, we didn't win the League Cup. What about the FA Cup? Well, he's defended the title, hasn't he? He beat Manchester City in the 5th round. Hull, easy tie at home there. Beat Everton in the semi-final after extra time. And then beaten West Ham in the final. So, other than the Manchester City game, was at home. And, fair play to him, he's overcome it. He's had a fairly easy run. They're all the games were at home, apart from the semi-final and final. So, yeah. He's won a trophy domestically, but how did he do in the Champions League? Well, he got knocked out in the qualifying stage, which... do you remember me telling you that he was playing Shakhtar and Galatasaray at home and he should get the 6 points from that? Well, he got 2, and that's just unacceptable. Bayer Leverkusen in the playoff round. You remember those from a journeyman save, decent team. But yeah, losing 3-1 away, and then at home, obviously he's got a 1-0 win, but we're Manchester United, this just can't keep happening. You know, we've finished 4th, won the FA Cup, and that's it. Is that acceptable? I don't know. The boys just aren't playing well either, are they? We've got 3 players that are over a 7 average rating. Ferguson's only scored 21 in 41. Rashford's got 19 in 43, 7 assists. Do we keep him? He's 30 years old. Paying him 300 grand a week. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He won't change his contract because I think he's wanted. He's not wanted at the minute, but he was wanted. He wouldn't sign a new deal, so we'll reevaluate that in the summer. But Coyote's been his best player. As right back shouldn't be his best, but it's a bit like real life when Luke Shaw was the best player for a period of time, wasn't he? You got your left back as your best player. But yeah, I think it's time he went. He's had, 3 seasons now? And it's not getting better. I want to try and bring in somebody with better stats. He's got good stats, don't get me wrong. He's alright, but he's tactical knowledge 12, that's probably the bit that's letting him down. We need to look at other people that have got better attributes here. And he's done well, hasn't he? He's won a competition in every season. I don't know if I mentioned to you, by the way, but look who's back. Guess who's back? Stephen McLaren. No, we won't be making him head coach again. But yeah, I brought him back as a normal coach. And we've got Solskjaer, Phil Neville, Van Persie, O'Shea, Michael Carrick. You know, we could have a look at those and see if there's anyone internally that we could promote. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. But I think, in fact, there you go. It's done. Van Nistelrooy is sacked. It might be a snap decision. It might be the wrong decision. But I think it's time to freshen it up. We've got a lot of money. We're going to go try and do some significant business in the summer transfer window. And I want a new head coach to come in and lead the team. So that is it from me from this episode. Thank you, Ruud, for all your time and all your efforts in what you've done. And good luck for the future. That's it from me. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.